It is the end of an era. Whoa. What's up and welcome to Tech Select with me, Linus, right here on this channel. If you're not yet subscribed, now is a very good time for you to go and hit the subscribe button, like button, share, all the good stuff. You know the drill, you know what to do. Now in today's video, we are talking about the end of an era. It has come to an end, the era of Africell. So Africell Uganda has announced that they are leaving Uganda. They are closing shop, closing business, and this has not really gone down very well with very many people that have been using their data. But well, it is what it is. So Africell officially announced that this will be their last month of operation in this here country, Uganda. They are pulling out of the country, and we shall look into the reasons later. Now, I wanted to bring out this video just, to have a look at the entire era of Africell. You see, before it was Africell, it was something else. So I wanted us to look into that lineage to get to understand just what we are losing as a country. So here goes. It was 2009. I think, yes, it was 2009 when the French people decided to come to Uganda and open their branch of their company, Orange. You all remember this one, the orange and black billboards everywhere, the adverts. Man, these guys came as a game changer. So yes, Orange Uganda did launch. That was way back, 2009 is when they actually did launch in Uganda. Now, they came with one main thing, and that is what even these guys who are closing picked, and that was disrupting the market. Orange Uganda came and changed the way we consume data, mobile data in this country. Uganda, they came and changed it forever. Now, when they came, Orange had I think the most affordable data bundles you could find out there. And I remember everybody back then had this USB dongle. It was black with those orange stripes. Everybody at one point must have owned one. And I remember a GB of data was about, 45,000 Uganda shillings. Back then, that was astonishing. Like, nobody offered that kind of data. None of the big giants that were there by then offered anything close to that. And then they came with this whole thing of disrupting the market. They were giving us good data, very affordable by then, by the standards of back then. And they had the fastest data in the country. I remember this time their data was clocking on speed test. It was about, I think, 512 kbps, sometimes maxing out 1 mbps, and man, we loved that data. So Orange set the pace. They did fiber optics, they connected the place, they did microwave radios for the home clients. They pushed their all in terms of data, because they saw that was where the gap was. Voice was taken by the giants, yellow team, red team, but they were like, data is where we are going to maximize and enter this market. Now, hey, it was not so long before problems started looming. It was not very long. Within just few years of operation, they got to notice that, Uganda is a part of Africa, but it's not easy. They started looking at losses. At one point, it's recorded that the company, that is Orange Uganda, was in $200 million of debt. Yeah, they were in that much debt in trying to push the everyday work. They were in over $200 million in debt. That was actually insane. That was crazy. Now, they tried, looking for investors to put in some money into the company, to revive it so that they can add in more. But one, the investors were like, nah, you guys have a lot of debt. Two, your asset base is not that big. What you bring on table is not that big. And then what made it even worse is that their market share was less than 20%. So they couldn't really get the big investors in. So while they did what is logically expected of a company like this one, it was time to sell. Now, this is where things get interesting. That's what I'm saying. It's an end of an era. A lot of stuff has really gone in. Lots of sweat, effort, and tears has really gone in having this be what it is right now. So it is a kind of sad moment, right? It is actually a very, very sad moment. Now, come 2012, 2012, Orange decided, you know what? Time to sell off some things, to stop bleeding money, because they were really losing money in the millions of dollars. So they're like, you know what? They got over 180 transmission towers. Those are the masts you see all over the place. And they're like, you know what? For sale. They sold those in hope of, trying to get this sinking ship to float one more time. Now, unfortunately for them, that did not really help at all, because even with all of that, they were still bleeding money. It's recorded that they were losing up to 50 billion Uganda shillings every year. 50 billion is what they were losing. 50 billion Uganda shillings is what they were losing every single year of operation. So it reached a point where, it was just unsalvageable anymore. And they're like, buy. Now, they decide to sell. Unfortunately for them, things again also didn't go very well when it came to selling. They put the company up for sale. Some people were interested, they jumped on it. But then former employees of the company sued them. They took them to court, citing they had not been paid their wages, allowances, and all of that stuff. So they could not go anywhere without sorting all of this stuff. So they sell, much as there are people who are interested in buying the company off them and saving them all these losses. Court was like, no, injunction, nothing is happening. UCC is like, no, something is not right. No one and nothing is going anywhere. Sort your troubles before you can sell. Now, all these, remember, are hiccups, and the longer these people are holding on to this, the more trouble they are getting into, because they're losing money, money is going, no money is coming in. So it was just insane for them. However, fast forward, they did get, people to buy the company, and that was Africell Uganda. Now, Africell comes in, they try to buy the company. It was not really something easy. Like I said, there were court injunctions because of the former, employees who had sued for their whatevers. UCC also halted the sale of the, the takeover of the entire company, citing some procedures were not followed. And it was just back and forth. At one point, some of the investors were arrested, I think for visa, I think the work visa or something like that. More on that one, another story. So it was just a battle. So from inception, they were fighting, extinguishing fires, my friend. So they fought on, and eventually Orange Uganda was fully acquired by Africell Uganda. They rebranded, everything good. They sent an announcement to all the employees that were still there that, starting this day forward, you are no longer Orange Uganda employees, you officially now Africell Uganda. Now, this is all now in the year 2014. So Africell officially takes over and kicks in. Now remember, Orange was bleeding a lot of money, so they inherited almost all these losses, liabilities, and all of that. So they had to streamline. Now, I used to have a couple of friends who used to work for Orange, and I must say many of them lost jobs. That's for sure. They had to downsize the staff, cut down on expenditure, but still remain afloat. However, they did manage quite well, because Africell did have some wonderful wins right there that we're just going to have a quick look at. Now, Africell also picked the mantle from Orange and decided and said, you know what, we are going to be the kings of data, because they noticed data is where the loophole was. They all tried this, maximum phone calls, low calls, but those are like mantles being held by the two other giants, the big giants that are out there. That is Yellow Camp and Red Camp. I'll not say who. So they noticed the gap was within data. And trust me, Africell, thank you so much, for you guys played a really, really big role in the cost of data in this country. Now, here's what they decided to do. Africell decided to say, you know what, we are going to become kings of data, and kings of data indeed they became. They pushed all kinds of bundles. They had bundles of 1,000, bundles of 10,000. They had, crazy monthly bundles that were insane in terms of the market. They upgraded. First of all, they just didn't market these bundles on the same network. They picked the already existing network and infrastructure of Orange and upgraded it. So you had a nice 4G experience where the network was available. You had a very nice 4G experience, and then they pushed the speeds, made them faster, and then packaged all sorts of data deals. And then they went on rampage marketing these things. These guys spent a lot of money on marketing. I remember at one point, almost every single celebrity, musician, actor, artist whoever had social status at one point was an influencer for Africell. They spent the money to do the marketing. All I remember is the bundle that actually did change the way people consume data was the Swift. Yes, Swift bundle. That one which somebody couldn't say Swift. That one. So that Swift bundle, I remember, was like a social media bundle that had Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter, something like that. Yes, Swift. So they were the first guys to push this kind of social media focused bundle. And man, did it catch on. It caught on so much that the two bigger giants had to also come up and start copying this kind of bundle. Then they started bringing weird things. WTF bundle. I don't know. Come on, guys. Do better research. Anyway, so they really did push and really push the data cap. Let's just have a quick look at the bundles they did have. Now, going over to the website, and we just go over to data bundles before we get to all the other things they did come to implement along the way. When you just go over here to data bundles, already you get to see we have crazy insane bundles. Yeah, like now over here. Yeah, 3,500 Uganda shillings, 500 MB plus another 500 MB. So basically bonus. So that is 1 GB at 3,500 shillings. The only people who offer anything close to this is there is a bundle, but I think it's 5,000 Uganda shillings for 1 GB of data. So you can already see they are way cheaper. Their bundles were just insanely cheap and affordable for the people to use. And the best bit of it, for those that used Africell data, they can testify the Africell data did not just mysteriously vanish. It's one of those data bundles that you would load and actually enjoy using without it just poof and disappearing. So they did push a lot. Now I also need to look at it that Africell didn't just push data bundles only. They did improve the voice network. They really pushed. If you have gone up country, you will notice that there is better Africell network up country than any other mobile network around. So they did improve that tremendously. They also did venture into Africell Money. I don't know if anyone has really been using Africell Money. They should be there. I have personally never used Africell Money, but there are those that do actually got to, they got to use Africell Money. But, well, these are some of the things that they did try to bring in. So they had business internet, Africell Money, voice bundles, internet bundles, and a lot more. These guys really picked up the mantle from Orange and just multiplied it 10 and above just to make sure they get something that is amazing. Now, come 2021, we are shocked, very shocked. We wake up and we see an email circulating all over saying, you know what, we're closing shop, we're going. Many didn't see this coming, but I kind of saw it coming, because I was wondering, at one point the Africell infrastructure failed to catch up with, how can I put it, with the demand. In my view, they failed to expand their network. For instance, where I stay, I have zero network, but across the road there is network. So something like that. So many people have been having network hiccups, and if your network is not good enough, that means you don't have accessibility to more clients. So they kind of were losing out on that. I kind of saw this affecting them in the long run. I kind of saw it affecting them. However, they did come out dropping an email and an official statement saying they are closing, and they will be done and closed and off the Ugandan scene by the 7th of October 2021. One can only speculate why they are leaving the country, but just looking over here at the official statement that they released, 7th September 2021, Kampala, Uganda. Africell has announced that it will end operations in Uganda by 7th of October 2021. Africell entered Uganda in 2014 by acquiring operations from Orange in the country, just like I said. Since then, Africell has become an important challenger brand. Yes, indeed, they have. And bringing communication and innovation to a mature and well-developed telecom sector. That is true. They did bring a lot of challenges. Meanwhile, if you did not know what is now Yellow Expo, where they showcase all kinds of technology and what at one point was an Orange Expo. Those guys were the king of internet at one point. So let's continue. Africell's decision to leave Uganda is based on a careful assessment of the long-term commercial outlook for the business and its fit within the overall group strategy of driving digital transformation in the communities we serve. That didn't make sense. That didn't make sense at all. Maybe let's read it again. Africell's decision to leave Uganda is based on careful assessment of long-term commercial outlook of the business and its fit within the overall group strategy of driving digital transformation in the communities we serve. This must have been written by a lawyer. Makes no sense at all. Okay, Africell has worked closely with Uganda Communication Commission and Uganda government throughout the decision-making process, and will continue to do so until and beyond the date the network operation and final is. So this is basically them telling us that they're working with the government and all of that. They have not really given us the reason as to why they are closing shop. But if we just go back to this confusing statement as I read earlier, Africell's decision to leave Uganda is based on a careful assessment of long-term commercial outlook for the business. So in other words, they sat, looked at their business where it is now, looked at the business where it is going tomorrow, and decided it's not worth it anymore. So what do we get to learn? What do we get to see from this? Basically, it seems Africell is just not coming out to say it, but they might be in the same predicament that Orange was in a couple of years ago. Float. Let's just put it as simple as that. Float. However, thank you so much, Africell, for all the things you have pushed to change in this here country. For all the innovations that you have put on the table that the other giants have actually copied just because you made enough noise. Thank you. And for making data more affordable by bullying the big guys. Thank you so much. Africell Uganda, you shall surely be missed in this here country. But however, your reign with us has been awesome and really, really awesome. Let's wait and see who is going to acquire this tech giant as we wait to see on what happens next. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, remember, go ahead, hit subscribe, like, share, comment. Drop me a comment on what you think about Africell. What is your take? How are you affected by the exiting of the country? How is it affecting you? Just let me know in the comment section below. If you like this kind of content, do remember to subscribe. I remain Linus right here on Tech Select channel. See you in the next video. Bye.